And the singer arrives at King's Inn Corn Exchange tomorrow. My producer thought this is something fairly caught up with him last week.
Well, it's funny because all morning, both I and Stephen, who I work with, have been going around saying, Joe McElderry! Do people ever actually address you like that?
Well, they don't, sometimes. I mean, sometimes when you're doing, TV interviews and stuff, or concerts and stuff, people think, I think if I had £1 every time somebody mentioned it.
It's just too tempting to do.
Well, it's good though. It means that, it's obviously, I think that whole voiceover guy, Peter Dixon, is such a memorable part of the show. I think people just associate it with the show now, which is brilliant.
And it's not a bad thing. As a radio person, we're all obsessed with jingles and having your name in a jingle. My name's almost impossible for any sort of sung jingles. Thordis Fredrickson doesn't really work, but Joe McElderry sounds great. I'll stop doing it now. I think I've got it out of my system. So you're in a rehearsal room at the moment.
I'm just at the back of a theatre, yeah.
Whereabouts at the minute?
We are in Oxford. So we're in Oxford this week. We started on Tuesday and we're here until Saturday. So yeah, it's been going really well. This is like the 7th week of the tour now. So it's been a really fun experience so far. I'm really, really enjoying it.
Like in a week, there's that moment, like a Wednesday is quite nice because you're on the way to the weekend, and Thursday is practically the weekend. In a tour of however long, is there sort of a point where Tuesdays are pretty awful? Is there a point in a tour where there's like the equivalent of a Tuesday?
Well, Tuesdays for us are quite exciting because it's the first show of the week and it's always the opening night in every town that we go to. So there's always kind of a bit of excitement on a Tuesday. We'll get like a Friday daytime kind of off because we do 2 late shows on a Friday night at a 5 o'clock and 8 o'clock. So Thursday night's quite it feels like a little bit of a mini weekend because we've got the day off. But the thing about Joseph is it's such a fun show that your energy is just always up anyway. So it's quite it's got quite a nice positive feel around it, and all of the cast kind of have that like happy feeling. The songs are so cheerful, and joyful, and the audiences have been fantastic. So I think to perform the show, it gives you that feeling anyway.
Do you know, Joseph has a real special place in my heart. I have a soft spot for it because when I was much younger, probably worrying me about 20 years ago, I was in the Joseph choir when it was in Norwich.
Were you?
And it is the most, upbeat, makes you feel, even at 10, I wasn't quite going for an after-show party, I was a little bit young, but it was, it did fill you. You had such a post-show buzz. It is so feel-good.
It is, and obviously I'm used to do my own concerts and stuff where, you have like fans that are turning up and they're singing along and they're dancing, clapping. So when I committed to doing this, I was a little bit worried about, I was like, what if I don't get that same feeling from the audience as I do in my concerts? And I was a little bit worried that I would miss that kind of adrenaline buzz at the end of one of my shows. But honestly, the audiences are literally on their feet, they're dancing, they're singing, they're screaming, they're cheering. It's like a pop concert at the end. It's brilliant. So that's been amazing for me because it kind of feels like a home from home, although I'm doing a different project.
Especially with the types of brilliant music that's in there. I always loved Close Every Door to Me. I can't remember, we really had much to do in the Joseph choir, but it's such an emotional song. You get some brilliant moments to take centre stage and to test yourself vocally as well in Joseph.
Yeah, 100%. It's actually a really, really nice role for me because it sits in a really nice part of my voice. And it's like you said, you get to sing the happy songs, but you also get them really kind of challenging moments, where you've really got to portray the character and get into the nitty gritty of it and, be emotional. So it's great. And Close Every Door is like a singer's dream song to sing. It's a singer's song. So it's brilliant to be able to do that every night as well.
There are some quite skimpy clothes, I seem to remember.
Oh, God, don't even talk about it.
Loincloths?
Yeah, I pretty much wear nothing for the whole show. I wear one outfit at the start, and then it's a loincloth for the rest of the show. So I've certainly been keeping on fit and eating healthy, because it's the last thing you want to do is eat a burger before the show and stand with no top on
Yeah.
in front of about 1,000 people a night.
You don't want a food baby on stage. Like-
Exactly, and it looks even worse in pictures, so I've been trying to be healthy.
I mean, obviously as well, I mean, vocal stamina and actual physical stamina for a show like this, I mean, relentless, and there are matinees, and you don't get a lot of time off, and you're having to belt out these songs. There's a lot to take into account in terms of making yourself last.
Well, I think, I mean, I'm used to being on pretty hectic schedules anyways, because when I do my tours, the shows are actually, you know, it's 2 hours of just me, and it's full on, you know, it's full on vocals, it's full on in choreography, everything. So I'm kind of used to that anyways, but I find that I do exercise before any show that I'm doing, because I find it sets you up mentally and physically for the day, you know, because it is, you know, you've got to kind of respect your body, because obviously you don't want to go off sick, you don't want to have any aches and pains, and I think the exercise kind of keeps everything loose, it keeps you ready, and also the adrenaline from exercise keeps you like going for the shows as well. So I try and make a point of doing like a workout before every show or every other day, just to keep everything going.
I can't even imagine doing a workout before doing a radio programme. I think I just fall asleep halfway through. But I'm not as fit as you. So that's obviously maybe one day that'll be my secret weapon. I love the idea that actually doing a show as full on as Joseph could potentially be slightly less demanding than doing your own show, because at least you've got all your brothers and the narrator and everyone else on stage also doing stuff.
The thing with this is it's a completely different way of performing to doing like to just stand on stage and being me, you know what I mean? Because obviously when I do my shows, you go off for a quick change, you have literally like 40 seconds, you're straight back on, you're talking in between songs, you're interacting with the audience. So that is kind of it. Although it's intense, you have breathing moments in it, whereas when you do a show like this, you're in character the whole time, and I think that in itself is quite exhausting, because you're concentrating on the role that you're doing. So although there's a lot more breathing moments in this, when you're on stage, it's actually more intense, if that makes sense.
I mean, your life has been so hectic for so many years now. What on earth does Joe McElderry do to relax?
I mean, I kind of, I'm one of these people where I do enjoy what I do, so I don't find it that hectic. You know, it's full on, but I think you just get into a routine and you get used to it. And sometimes, if anything, if I get a day off, I actually don't know what to do with myself. You know, I sit around and I'm like, you know, once I kind of caught up with my friends and family, I'm a bit like, oh, I'm bored now, you know. But yeah, I genuinely do love, you know, going for a run. I live near a beach, going for a run along the beach, going to cinema, catching up with friends. Or sometimes I have them days where I don't get out of my pajamas and I lie in bed and watch horrendous television all day and eat loads of junk food, and that is a perfect day off. Just doing nothing.
It sounds pretty perfect to me. When's the next time you actually get the chance to do that?
Probably not until July.
Well, it's a good time of year to do it.
Yes. Well, maybe I could do it in the garden if the sun is shining.
Well, enjoy King's Lynn. You're going to have an absolute scream in Norfolk. We're a very nice place. We'll make you welcome.
Yes, well, I'm looking forward to it. I've been to King's Lynn once before and I'm a fabulous audience, so I'm hoping for the same.
What a lovely man. Talking to Thordis Fredrickson, my producer, Joe McElderry, or shall I say, Joe McElderry. And Thordis, I'm going to scratch there, sorry. Thordis and Thunder Ferry will be back in the studio in just a moment or two.